So today we are going to cover how to create a backup cube. So to create a backup cube, we have a standard process. Like normally to create a sales cube or to create a cube to load the data from the flat file. So those we are creating we are importing the data sources. Above that one we are creating a cube. There we are giving our characteristics, key figures, etc. So then we are following the transformation, other things. But for backup cube, like SAP already given a standard process. So just by following the process, we can create a backup cube. So technically, why the backup cube is you are going to take all your APO planning data and keeping in the cube, so that even some data somebody by mistakenly deleted or some data went wrong, you can easily recover it. So from the cube to planning area, you can apply back. So it depends upon the company. So clients, so they will take a backup on maybe like a daily basis or weekly basis or weekly twice or on demand. So they are going to take the backup of all our data and keeping in the cube. So that even if something is happened also, so I have a backup of data, so I will keep again into my planning area. So now I am going to create a backup queue for this planning area. It's always specific to the planning area. So you want to create a backup cube. Go to the planning area, display, and here we have a option in the extras, data extraction tools. So here we can create a data source and we can create a cube. So you need not to go RS7, like a right click and create our own data source, add the fields. So no need to do all the things. And right click, create a cube, add the characteristic key figures. Those things not required. So because it's a standard of a structure of our planning area, extracting the data. So we have all the processes predefined. So now I want to create a data source. So give the name, what are the data source name you want it. I will give same as my planning area, ZAPO 052P. So generate the data source. Again it will ask you the name. So ZAPO underscore 052P planning data. And here there is an option, you don't want to extract the data which are all are zero. Then you can select this one, so that it is improve the performance. With all the records are zero, what I will do? Nothing. Even if I take also backup, nothing. So that's why if to avoid all the records are zero, then you can select this one. Execute. And it will show what are the characteristics, like a month, week according to the storage bucket profile, and what are the characteristics according to your MPOS, and what are the key figures according to your planning area structure. Even if you don't want some of the characteristics, some of the key figures, you can hide it also. I don't want this key figure. Say for example, you can hide it and save the data source. So all these data sources will always start with 9A. Even if you give the name ZAPO 052P, it will always take it as a 9A. So I have created a data source. So then the next step is replicate the data source. So select the replicate, and this is for 3.5 version, and this is the BAW 7. So anyway, no more 3.5, 7. Take the first option, RSDS. It's replicated. So now activate the data source. Go to the RSA1, find our data source. Okay, this is my data source. Select all, continue. So this is our data source. This is not still active, so go to the change mode and make it as a active. So once you activate it, you can check same like your time, your characteristics and your key figures. Everything will be there here. So I have a data source now. Next, what you want it? So the next one is a we want a cube. Okay. So to create a cube also we need not to go like right click there, do all the things. We have a standard option, data backup, generate a info cube from the planning area. So from which planning area? My planning area. What is the cube name you want to give? I want to give the cube name as a ZAPO 52P. Description. Description you can give meaningful one. Backup cube. And under which info area you want to tag this one? Like my info area. So we have already created info area. So all our objects will come to under this info area. So it's nothing but like as a folder. Like you can keep all our characteristics, key figures, cubes, everything, and execute the cube so that it will create a cube. Do you want to include the key figures, proportional factors in the cube? Yes. Because proportional factors are the standard key figure. So if you want those also, you can take it. Done. So cube also created. Now again go to the R7 and check the cube. So go to the find. So it will refresh. What you will do, again come to the R. Sometimes it will take 1 minute to refresh it. Or you can directly check under your info provider also. Like this is the our info area, so it will come under our info area. Oh, GAPO 52, GAPO 52 underscore hyphen A. Okay, it's already created. Okay, I will create as a let me create as a C. Yeah, it will now check in the source. It will take 1 minute time. You will wait for a minute, so it will appear here. So we have created a info cubes. Select the info cube and stitch. Yeah, it's created. Even if you want to find the P also, it will create it. Normally it will take a minute to refresh it. See, now P also there. Okay, now if you go to the info provider or again go to the RS7 best. See, we have a cube ZAPO 52 T. So now I want to create a transformation between my data source and my info cube. Just mapping between the data source and the cube. Okay, what is the data source? ZAPO 09A 9A ZAPO 52 P and source system nothing but like our APO system. So how you know what is our source system? Go to the source system. So under VI you can see APO system name is a APO client 800. So create a transformation, give the data source and give the this one and give the source system. So your data source or info cube both fields are same. So automatically it is doing the mapping. So you need not to do mapping. It will take automatically the mapping also. Now you can go for the active. If both are different, manually we need to map it. If it is the same, it will automatically map itself. Then create a DTP. Double click, continue. You want to full load or delta? I want to full load and activate it. And now you want to create an info package to load the data into the PSA. Create an info package. So in the info package, the mandatory field is a version. Give always 000. So now you want to load the data. You can give the filters. Only this month I want to, this week only, or only for this products, like that. You can do the filter. And you want to load the data. Go to the start. If you want to load everything, don't give anything in the filter. Then it will start loading the data. You want to see the data, go to the manage. It's running. So some 750 records are there. Okay, you want to see whatever there in the records. So select this one and go to the symbol, PSA symbol. So data source we can call it as a PSA, so persistent storage area. So maximum 1000 records. If something here from 7000 records are there, so here also you can put as a this one. So that many records it will show. So it's the same like as your planning area. Okay, particular this month, this week, product one, in the location one, I have this brand, I have this much quantity, etc. Since I don't ignore the zero, so even zeros also it is coming. If you don't want it in the data source level only, you can select that option so that it will not extract the zeros. Then now I have a data in the PSA. To keep this data in the cube, what we need to do? Like a run the DTP. We need to already DTP is created, so run the DTP. This is the DTP. Go to the execute and click. So that by running the DTP, all the data from PSA it will come to your info cube. So it's running. Just refresh. So done. Everything is green and total 750 records are updated. So now you want to see the data in the cube. Like right click, go to the manage. You can see the request number and today date and how many records are updated. Here some 750 records are updated. You want to see the data, just select it and go to the content, select the characteristics. Only you want to see particular a combination, you can select only particular a combination, or you want to see everything, you can select everything. Just a minute. Rajkumar, I am in class, I will call you after 30 minutes. I am in class, Rajkumar, I will call you after 30 minutes. So if you want to see all the characteristics, you can select all the characteristics. And key figures also. It will come all the key figures, what are the key figures you want. And you want to particularly some data only, then you can do only location one I want to see, only product one I want to see, or only particular this month data or this week data, like that you can give. And select aggregate, so that similar records will be aggregate, and remove the limit, otherwise it will show only 200 records, but we have 750 records, so that's why you have to remove the limit, then it will show all the data. So where we have the values in the interactive planning, check your interactive planning screen. So we will match that one. So here we have maintained some data. So month 6 we have a data. Okay. So in the cube I will go month 6. So filter, six, select it. You can see the data. So for month 6 we have maintained 1000 and 1000 for product one and location one combination. Only it's a, what is this one? It's this key figure, history key figure. So now we can compare with our planning area. So here it's a 1000 and 1000. If you go to the detail, so month 6 I have maintained a history as a 1000 and 1000. The same thing I can see in the cube also. So it's taking this data as a backup and keeping here. So 1000 and 1000. So for example, now I will delete this data. So for example, somebody by mistakenly deleted this data. Deleted. Done. I want to apply back from the backup queue. Like already my data is there in my backup. So I want to again apply back to the planning area. So for that one, we have a standard functionality of in demand planning, in the environment and data administration, load the data from the cube. So SAP APO, give the cube name and version and planning area, version and date 01/06/2016, 6th month 30/30. So 30/06/2016. And what combination? If you want to load only for product one, give the product one. And what are the grouping condition? What combination you want to load the data? Let's combine all the level. And what key figure? So key figure is nothing but like in the cube. I want to history cube. So the same thing I want to load into the here also as a history key figure. So save it. Now select the result and execute it. successfully loaded. So now check the data in the planning database. So before loading I have deleted it. So now I have recovered from my backup queue. See again the data came 2000.
Kalyan, one question here.
Sorry?
One question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When we delete the data from planning area, when will it be reflected to the backup? When we like what do we run to reflect in the backup also?
Sorry, I didn't clear your question.
You deleted the sales or forecast from planning area, right? 2020.
I have deleted only the
So
history from the planning area.
yeah, okay. But when is it going to reflect in the backup queue?
No,
Once in a week you will do the
see,
thing.
before I am deleting the data in the planning book, I have to already
Mhm.
backup. So after the taking the backup,
Yeah, how do you back up? How do you back up the data?
how you will?
Yeah, how do you back up the data? By running the DTP.
Yeah, but that is only now we did now. So by
Yeah,
doing
so
by running,
basically every day you will be taking the backup in the morning and then or night. This is
yes,
what we do.
like it depends. Like maybe if they want it daily, they can take a backup. Like end of the day, like a daily users are using till 8 o'clock the system. So maybe if you want, you can
Okay.
take a date backup, or before you are going to hand over the system to the users, because night daily again I am running some jobs. So before I am hand over
Mhm.
the system to the users, I will take a backup. Or maybe if daily
Right.
they are not going to do changes, they want to take a backup before, like release the forecast, or maybe it whenever loading the promotions, whenever the correcting the data a particular specific time, like that it depends upon the client requirement.
Got it.
So by running the info package, the data will come to the PSA, and by running the DTP, the data will come to the PSA to info queue. So once it is there in the info queue, any point of time I can apply back. Clear? Vamsi and Agam?
Yeah, clear.